Hi everyone, and welcome to a reading that I've only ever done once before, but I decided to go back and do it again because I wanted to get these decks out and use them. So it is gods, goddesses, guardians, the keepers of the light, or the ascended masters. Okay, so what energy and what messages do they have coming in for you? There's no particular topic. I just went with whatever the overall energy card was that I pulled for each pile. So we have pile 1 here. You can choose this card or this charm, the Windmill. Pile 2 is this card or the butterfly charm, and pile 3 is this card or the globe. Okay, it's the world or the globe. So those are your choices. Whatever one calls to you, whether it's pile number, card, or charm, then it's meant for you. And let's get right into the messages. I'm excited to see what they all have to say. Hi to those of you who chose pile 1, this card, or the lovely little, oh my gosh, I'm having a hard time, Windmill charm. There we go. This is going to be your reading. So I'll just put the windmill there. This was just a card to pick from. All right, overall energy. We're gonna do oracle cards, we're gonna do live tarot, and another oracle at the end. So like I said, it is goddesses, gods, guardians, ascended masters, keepers of the light. That's the Kyle Gray deck that I like to use for that. We're gonna see a little bit of everything in here. So overall energy is God of spiritual healing. An aspect of you or a situation in your life is in need of healing. Now that's going to resonate differently for each one of you. There is, well, I don't know yet. There's going to be a specific area, but we'll see when we get into the cards. But as always, there could be individual messages in each card or overall, right? So let's just keep an open mind, and there could be multiple messages as well in each pile. So let's just pull these over a little bit more into the middle. Okay. So we have Mary of Nazareth, the Mother of God, so that's the Virgin Mary. I'm not sure how to pronounce his name, but it's watch your words. Bright heart light, open connections. Freya, radical acceptance. And then we have Master Jesus, forgiveness. It says, I'm just going to read this card first. You are on the path of light, love, and forgiveness. Father, healing is possible at this time. So for some of you, you could have an issue with a father figure in your life. So just be mindful of that. Maybe that's a message for you. There's father healing that needs to be done at this time, but we're right here. There's a situation in your life in need of healing. And then we have Jesus come out with forgiveness. So there's the main message, but let's just look at each card and just try to find out maybe also what areas or what it may have to do with. So first off, when I come down here to bright heart light and open connections, I just feel as though maybe you have closed off your heart space. You have closed off your, heart because you've been hurt. And this is just a message that you need to open up your heart space again. In order to forgive, you need to open up your heart space. But let's always remember that forgiveness is not forgetting. Forgiveness is not that you need to go and forgive that person in person. It's not that. You forgive them in your heart space so that you can move forward. What they do and what they've done, while it may have been hurtful and we're not taking away from that, those are their actions, which they will have to answer for, okay? You can only control you And that's why I believe the message here is open your heart space back up and just forgive. Not forgive and forget, just forgive for yourself. Kind of like, forgive for I know not why they do what they do. I know that's not the exact saying, but it's similar to that. You know what? You can't figure out why the other person behaved or acted in the way that they did. And I want to say, and don't try, because it will never make sense to you, right? That's the whole thing. It will never make sense to you. Well, it might in some cases, but for most people, it never makes sense. And that's why they're always trying to figure out, but why? Sometimes the but why just needs to go. That's a bit of a harsh message, but it does. Let's look at the rest of the cards. Radical acceptance. I want to say, I know that Freya was a warrior. I want to say a Norse warrior. I'm not sure if they had another, like a shield maiden. Maybe, I don't know. I'm watching all of those shows on TV or on Netflix and stuff, right? But yeah, very powerful. But what I want to say is radical acceptance, because she's a battle goddess, I'm going to say, or a goddess of war even, maybe. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. And it's hard when you lose. And I feel like it's in this situation, it's hard when you lose to then forgive, to find forgiveness in your heart for what it is that you lost against, or whoever it was, or whatever it was that you were up against. Because this could be personal, this could have to do with work, it really could do with anything in your life. And I really feel that the message here is, yeah, sometimes we just have to accept and move on. Again, not forgive, okay? And not accept as in, oh, well, I'm just going to accept that what they did was okay. No, not at all. And the reason I feel that all of this is, I'm going to come back to him in a minute, but I'm going straight over to the Virgin Mary, or Mary of Nazareth, Jesus' mother. The Virgin Mary became pregnant, as the story goes, right, and was a virgin. So you can only imagine what that would have been like to try to explain to people, and the ridicule and the shame and the gossip, and, well, that pretty much sums it up, that she would have been going through. And I can only just imagine, right, how that would have felt. How would you explain that to people? And I believe different accounts that she may have been married to Joseph at the time, but according to different accounts, they also had not consummated their marriage at that point, i.e. the Virgin Mary. So we're back to, can you imagine in those days trying to explain to people how you became pregnant without, actually having sex with anyone, i.e. maybe if they were actually married, your husband. They would have thought that she cheated on him. I mean, it would have been scandalous, right? But do you know what she had? Faith. She had faith. Whether you believe in God, source, universe, whomever it is that you believe in, that you pray to, that you go to for divine guidance, you have faith in that. She had faith. So I think the message here, pile one, is, in a roundabout way, is you need to open your heart space back up. Practice that forgiveness. And I say practice because it's not going to happen overnight, okay? You'll kind of practice until it finally practice. I had a reading, I said it, practice makes perfect, or it might have even been my channeled message, I can't remember, where eventually it will just be, and you will no longer be thinking of that person or situation all the time, or trying to figure it out, as I said earlier. And with watch your words, it almost feels like it's some sort of, warning or heads up, like, well, watch your words. I don't feel it's that. I feel it's more like watch your words, because you somehow in all of this because you're on the path of light, love, and forgiveness. I feel like you're going to be sharing this with other people maybe and telling them how you did it, even if it's just close family, friends, or colleagues or whatever. And they want to say the words that you use to describe your situation will be very important. I feel it goes back to Mary again, just very important. This is what happened. This is what the angel Gabriel told her, was it not? Right? I could be wrong about that. Or whomever, I don't remember now. But anyway, you know, it's kind of like, this is the story. This is my story. These are my words. This is my truth. This is how I found healing and forgiveness. Okay, I believe that is the main message, pile 1, okay? So again, however that resonates in your life, beautiful. I mean, call on Mother Mary, nurturing, kind, understanding, right? If you want to just feel supported, call on Freya, call on what's his name here, because I mean, I want to do it phonetically, which is Ogma, but I don't think that's probably it. You know, Jesus, I mean, whomever it is that you go to, but these could be some gods, goddesses, ascended masters, right? The God of spiritual healing. Call on them to help you for power and support and courage. Okay, and advice. But let's see what else the tarot has here. What other messages do they have coming out? Temperance, patience, and balance. And I want to say the patience because remember I said it, you know, it's practice, okay? It may not for some of you happen overnight. So it's like practice makes perfect. But finding that balance with temperance, like just, I don't know. Well, I do know. The whole point is you want to find balance and harmony in your life. And they're saying by doing this, that's how you will find it. The Empress, oh my heavens, you guys, like look at the cards coming out here. 2 major arcanas. You will move past this for you. And when that happens, the abundance that will flow into your life because you've opened up your heart space, the seeds that you're going to be able to plant because you've been closed off, you haven't been doing that, you haven't been trying to manifest anything into your life, you're going to start. And the Empress is also nurturing and loving and motherly. So show yourself love and care and nurturing during this time. The 7 of Swords. Yeah. You're no longer allowing this energy, this pain that needs to be healed. You're not going to allow it to steal from you anymore. I don't do reversals, so I'm reading it as I feel it connects with the reading and also what comes in intuitively. And they're like, yeah, there is nobody, someone will say, stealing your energy anymore, stealing your light, stealing your love, stealing your heart space. It's not happening. Stealing your words. It's going to be over and done with. But again, always be prepared to take time. Work through it at your own pace, pile 1. Let's get one last card here. This is also, I believe this is from my Goddesses deck. Beautiful artwork, but also always a message on the back. And this one came out. Fortuna. Oh, I did a reading with her once. It's in my playlist. You'll have to check it out. I don't remember what month it is, April or May maybe. She teamed up, I can't remember now with who it was in a reading, but it was good. The Roman goddess Fortuna was the same as an earlier Italian goddess who presided over the earth's abundance, which I would say, look at the Empress here, and controlled the destiny of all human beings. Let's look at Jesus, all right? Just for an example. She gives us a way to approach the ups and downs of life, a perspective that can offer us some equanimity as we proceed on our journey. That's it, right? You may be in a bit of a downturn right now, but it's going to turn around upwards sooner than later. And she just wants you to look at all of this from a different perspective. I love that. Goddess Fortuna. There we go. So pile one, that is your message. I hope that you enjoyed it. It's certainly, you know, whenever we're talking any kind of shadow work, but in this case, forgiving, healing of yourself, your emotions, your feelings, it can be heavy. But just know that you have all of these people. Look, you can call in Temperance. Who is Temperance? Sagittarius, Jupiter, to bring you good fortune and luck. We have Fortuna come through. We have the Empress. You can call on any of these energies to help move you through this pile one. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next reading. Hi to those of you who chose pile 2, this card, or the butterfly charm. This is going to be your overall energy reading from the goddesses, gods, guardians, the ascended masters, the keepers of the light from the Kyle Gray deck. Okay, let's get right into the overall energy. We have Goddess of the Shadows. What you perceive to be your dark side holds a hidden treasure. Absolutely. Okay, cannot pronounce this name. I'm just going to hold the card here so you can see it. Lady of the Lotus Born. Again, no more hiding. Touching earth, planting something new. And healing. Okay. This is also a 1919, which is, oh, I didn't put the last card down. Sorry, Lord Ganesh. Okay. End of a cycle, healing. 12 and a 1 and a 2 is a 3. So that's right, growth, groups, creativity. Growth, planting something new. Manifesting. Okay. So back to Goddess of the Shadows. What you perceive to be your dark side holds a hidden treasure. No more hiding. What I want to say, pile 2, what's coming in is that they're giving me this example. So you're someone who is very you don't trust anyone or anything, okay? You don't trust anyone or anything, or you're at least always very skeptical of everyone and everything, situations, people, places, things, okay? What they're saying, what they want to use that example for is, we can call it skeptical. We can call it, oh my golly gee whiz, can't you just ever see the good in anything, right? Yes, you can. But why it's a shadow is because it's kind of gotten out of control a little bit. That's really your intuition. When you have a bad feeling about something, that is your intuition speaking to you. You hear all the time where people say, you know, I was walking and they said, turn right, and thank heavens I did because, or I was on the highway and I just felt, you know what, get off at the next exit. Thank heavens I did because minutes later there was a big pile up and I would have been in it. That type of stuff. Okay? So what they're saying is that is your intuition. However, what I believe that maybe some of you in pile 2 have allowed it to do is kind of take over and take on a life of its own, where the ego's like, oh, I'm not letting intuition win here. I'm going to take over and we're going to be skeptical of everyone and everything all the time. Okay? So that would be a shadow, okay, that you would have to work on. A shadow is just something that, you know, we don't like to admit about ourselves. It isn't necessarily a great trait to have, right? It's kind of the negative, maybe a negative part of yourself that needs work on, and that would be it. It's kind of gone, you know, a little bit off the charts. But what they're saying is, that doesn't mean that all of a sudden you just shut it down and then you just see everything with love, light, and through rose-colored glasses. No, they want you to use your intuition. That skepticism, somewhere in there, it's intuition speaking. It's just ego has been allowed to take over. And they're saying, well, let me just read this card. What does it say? Embodiment is the deepest bliss. My body was made for enlightenment. Okay, so yeah, we're made to learn new things, to rise up, to raise our vibration, to use our intuition, and however that is. Okay, and no more hiding. Oh, very interesting, because maybe you use skepticism to hide the fact that you knew that you were highly intuitive and you just didn't ever want to say it like that to people. They're saying, no, say it like that to people. Do not be, you know, you also can't just be running around to everyone going, oh, my intuition says this, therefore, no. I mean, you have to be sensible about everything, right? But do you kind of hear what I'm saying? Like, they want you to start acknowledging it. You're meant for enlightenment. That's part of it. Getting in touch with your inner self, your inner child, your higher self, God, source, universe. Using the gifts that we all innately have, right? Like, we all have intuition, but use it for the good, okay? Don't let the ego step in and take over from that emotional intuition and start running the show with just a lot of skepticism about everything. Yeah, they want you to heal that, to understand that maybe that's what you've been doing, and to heal that shadow. Touching earth, planting new seeds. I talk about it. We just are having a new moon right now as I'm recording this. So I think it's going to be a few days before this actually goes out. And that's a time to plant the seeds. Like, what is it that you want to bring into your life that's going to serve purpose and good in your life? People, things, I don't know, energy, more positivity, right? Whatever it may be. And you manifest that, you know, the laws of attraction, that type of thing. And with the Lord Ganesh card, infinite abundance, obstacles are being removed, spiritual support and connections are increasing. They're basically telling you, yeah, man, shut the ego off here and let your intuition rule. Okay, leave the skepticism behind. Let that shadow heal for yourself. You're going to feel the support from us. You're going to feel the connection with us if you do that. Okay, with God, source, universe, your guides, your spirit animals, your spirit guides, your ancestors, whatever, you know, whatever, whomever it is that you go to for advice, for healing, for higher learning and knowledge, right? They're saying, just let it go and go for it. That's the main message here, pile 2. I don't feel that there's anything else. And they're like, no, that's it. That's it. It really is. And again, each card could be individual for you, right? Maybe this is the only card that's resonating for you, and it just may be that whatever it is that you have as a dark side or your shadow, there's something positive in there. You need to dig it out. Think of like a pearl in an oyster, okay? There's that little pearl in there. You just need to first get in, you know, open the shell and then dig around and find it and get it out, right? So that's what I want to say about that. Let's get some tarot here for clarification, confirmation, further advice. I love this message. And it's, you know, I gave a very specific example because that's what they wanted some people to hear. But don't forget, this can be any shadow or any part of yourself where you're like, I know I'm a bit of a jerk sometimes in this area. But you know what? This is where it comes from. focus on the positive thing where it comes from and take that ego part out, okay? Ace of Cups, this is a brand new beginning for you, okay? This is a brand new beginning. By doing this, it's going to bring joy into your life, infinite abundance, right? It's going to bring in love and compassion, where you're using love and compassion along with your intuition. I don't know. I just feel like it's really, it could even bring a new relationship in. I mean, if, you know, because you won't be so skeptical of everyone that you're dating, and you may actually be like, oh, this person isn't so bad after all, right? Because you're going to stop looking for the negative or the bad in them, and you're going to see the good in them. And maybe that one little negative trait that they have is really not that bad. I love the way messages just come out. Okay, 9 of Wands. You have been through it, but she hasn't. So I want to say, she is standing there in all her power. That needs to be you. Lay down those wands. That's what's next, right? That's what's next with the healing and no more hiding, as you're going to lay those wands down. It's the end of the battle for you. And Temperance. Temperance come out in pile 1, 2. This is all about finding. Their messages lately are a lot about balance. Finding the balance in your life, right? It's the balance between your intuition, then moving into like crazy land of a lot of skepticism, right? Yeah, there should be balance there. Absolutely, you don't stop being a skeptic about everything. But here's the thing. We trust our gut. Remember those things I said at the beginning about, you know, you hear turn down this street or get off the highway or go this way or don't do that or double check something, right? That's your intuition speaking. You need to find the balance between your ego and your intuition, okay? And get that balanced out so that you are living a life that's joyful and in harmony, where everything is going with the flow. You're not hiding anymore. You're okay to talk about it, to say, you know what, I just rather think of all the times that someone's asked you to do something, and in your gut, you're just like, either I don't want to do it because it's not of interest to me, or I just don't feel right doing that, or whatever it may be. But yet, because you're hiding and you don't want to say to the person that asked, no, I don't want to do it because my gut's telling me not to. Now you're going to stop and you're going to say that, no, you know what? That just doesn't feel right to me. It's not about you. It's not personal. That just doesn't feel right to me. People have a hard time doing that. Even I do at times, but I've been working on that. If it's not serving me, I try to let it go. Okay, let's get one last oracle card here, pile 2. Love the messages coming in from the gods, goddesses, guardians, and ascended masters, the keepers of the light. Okay. We have Hera. Okay, beautiful card. It's like she's a peacock, right? Okay, let's see what it says. I don't read the whole card because it's a lot, and we don't need a history lesson. You can always Google her, but I just want to see here. She was often represented with a peacock, symbolic of beauty, luxury, and immortality. The spots on its feathers reflect the starry firmament, and the peacock has knowledge of the weather, reflecting the ancient role of the goddess as bringer of the seasons. She is a mature, powerful goddess combining both practicality and nurturing, a strong image of the supremacy of the queen within. So it's really going in and pulling out that inner feminine energy. Regardless of what sex you are or how you identify, we all can have a queen within, a king within, a prince or a princess within, whatever it may be, right? But I really feel that this is like, right, a peacock puts on a show, you know, for the ladies. He opens up his oh darn, feathers, I think they're called, right? Or I don't know if there's another name for it, his plume, whatever it is. And that's to attract in his mate. And what they're saying is, I feel that, well, what they're trying to say here is, don't be afraid to show who you really are, okay? Open those feathers up. Trust that intuition. Let it guide you. Okay, that is your message pile 2. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I will see you in your next reading. Hi to those of you who chose pile 3, this card, or this cute little world globe crystal, okay? We are going to get right into your goddess, God, guardian, ascendant masters, keeper of the light reading today, okay? So whatever energy messages they have for you, I'm going to be bringing them through here with the cards. We're going to have an overall energy, and then we're going to do live tarot. So overall energy, goddess of sacred power. You are being encouraged to take a leading role in your current situation. Literally open to anything, I do believe at this point, okay? Take it as it resonates in your life. That's the same with all of these cards. They can be individual messages or an overall message. Kali, the mother of the universe, powerful. King Neptune, sensitivity, powerful. Healing earth, the power to give and receive healing. And Parvati, devotion. Sanat Kumara, light activation. Wow, pile 3. This is a really good. The sacred god, the goddess of sacred power. Yes. Ooh, these are some powerful, I mean, all of them had great gods, goddesses, or keepers of the light in them, ascendant masters. But wow, I have to say here, I just feel like, just look at here, healing earth, the power to give and receive healing. But you're being asked, of course you're being asked with the goddess of sacred power to take a leading role in your current situation, whatever that is for you, okay? Because what I want to say, I think there's going to be a couple of different messages in here, because I'm going to these 2 cards right away. I'm going to start with the healing earth because I want it to go there right away with, do you see that light coming out of her hand? And what do we know about things like Reiki, energy healing? So for some of you in this pile, they want you to take a leading role around whatever it is that you might do for healing work. You could even be a nurse. You could be a nutritionist. You could be a massage therapist. You could be an acupuncturist, whatever. You could be a doctor. I don't know. But whatever it is, you have the power to not only give healing to people, but to receive. That's interesting, to give and receive healing. So by you giving, it somehow heals you in a way. Very interesting. I never thought of that when I first read it. Okay. Now, what I also want to say about this is I do believe that some of you here in pile 3 may be very powerful Reiki healers. I'm just going to, only because of the light coming out. But you could also be psychologist, psychiatrist. You could be a therapist of some sort, and you're giving healing to people as well. And that's important, and they want you to take a leading role in that. So maybe you're interning, maybe for some of you it's something you do as a side job. They want you to really make this an importance in your life, okay? You might not be quite ready to make it a business yet for some of you, but they want you to work towards that, okay? Or at least just trying to get out there to help as many people as you can. And I love here, I release all that doesn't serve me. It's time to be the truth of who I am. Maybe a lot of people don't know that you do a Reiki healing or that you do some sort of spiritual guidance work. They're saying, step up and be who you are. It's time. You take the leading role. If you're not the leading role in your own life, then who is? And that actually brings me into the second message that I wanted to talk about. I mean, there can be more. Like I said, for each of you, it's going to be different. But with this devotion, what are you devoting yourself to? People, places, or things in your life that don't serve you. They want you to stand up and take that role, that leading role in your current situation. So if you find yourself in a situation where you don't want to be, whether it's, like I said, with people, with places, or with certain things or situations, as it said in the card, situation, then you stand up and take control of that. This would be a 6. You need to communicate what it is that you do and don't want. As I have said in many readings before, when you realize what you don't want, it helps you, like if you said to somebody, what do you really want? And people go, oh, I don't really know. I always say, figure out what you don't want, and that kind of leads you in the direction of what it is that you really do, okay? Because it's hard, because when you're even when you put yourself on the spot like that, right? And you go, well, what is it that I want? I say, let's make the list of what it is that you don't want. But have two columns, but maybe start with that one. And then once you know what you don't want, you then go, well, I don't want it to be this. I want it to be do. I'm just saying, for some of you, that could be important to journal that down. For some of you, this could just be you standing up in, say, a job, or stepping into a leadership role of something, right? I don't know if it's in your home, if it's in your group, if it's at school, if it's at work, but they say shine your light. Your internal guidance is coming through loud and clear. Shine your light. You're meant to, in this light here, you're meant to help people. And I just feel, even here with her sword, it feels like a lightsaber, right? Like, I know it's a sword, but it does feel like a lightsaber. It's bright. You need to shine your light in some way. And it could just be being the shining light in your own life, being the leader of your own life. And maybe you've devoted yourself to people, places, or things that haven't allowed you to do that. Maybe you've allowed in your life things to come in and be around you that don't serve you. And now it's time to tell the truth. Maybe it's time to tell the truth that you're a powerful healer or a psychic or whatever it is. King Neptune here, I mean, he reminds me of like the King of Cups, right? And that is, you know, being confident in who you are, but also being wise like a king, okay? Being emotionally balanced. And maybe that's what's held you back. You haven't been emotionally balanced. My readings lately have been a lot about balance. So they're really, really trying to bring this to people's attention. And being okay, I want to say, with being sensitive. And don't let your sensitivity to... It's almost like, don't let your sensitivity to what you perceive might happen if you were to take on this role and shine in your life. They're saying no. Pack that up, not pack it away, let it go. Don't even hold on to that. Just out it goes, right? Like, there are times when we need to be sensitive and touch, of course, always with our intuition and with our emotions and keeping everything balanced. They don't want your sensitivities to outweigh you. They don't, because it's part of you, right? It's almost like allowing your ego to come in here and finding that balance between heart and mind. Okay, I feel like that's the main message, pile 3. You know, for a lot of you, it could be multiple things in here. Maybe one card stands out for you, I don't know. But regardless, it's time to shine your light, to activate that light within yourself. And we just have light, light. And even the cards, right? Like It's light. This feels light and airy. This is very golden. Yeah. The light needs to shine. And with the World here, I don't know what it is that you're destined to stand out in or shine your light. If you're meant to travel and do it, I don't know. Queen of Swords. There we go. Queen of Swords, right? She's independent. That's cutting devotion off to things that don't serve you, right? She is independent. She's very honest, okay? Very honest, I would say, like Callie. She's very direct. She's clear thinking, okay? And clear thinking balanced with your sensitivity is very powerful. Okay. Knight of Swords, more swords. Okay. So we have, again, more air energy, right? But that clear thinking, clear knowing, but Knight of Swords, right? He's quick with his thoughts. He wants to know more. He wants to succeed in whatever it is that he does. So if they're saying to you, take a leading role in your life, take on this Knight and Queen of Swords energy, and you will be successful. What else? Yeah. They're both ambitious. They're both action-oriented because they think it, they want to do it, right? So I want to say that's covering those two. And the Ace of Swords, seriously. Guys, the Ace of Swords. Mental clarity, a new beginning with mental clarity, being clear about what it is that doesn't serve you, being clear about what it is that you should or shouldn't be devoted to, being clear about how it is that you're going to share your healing gift with the world, how you're going to shine your light out into the world. What else about the Ace of Swords could we say? It can be breakthroughs, but this would all be a breakthrough when you decide to take the leading role and you go, wow, okay, this works for me. It can also be about having new, great ideas, right? Potential. I love it. Okay, that's your message, pile 3. Let's get your last card here. This is from my Goddess deck. Beautiful artwork on it. And usually there's a message and history in the back. I usually just try to go straight to the message. So let's see what we get for you. I'm not sure how to... Etang, whose name literally means shining one, was a Celtic moon goddess. Okay. You can look her up. It's E-T-A-I-N. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, but it's E-T-A-I-N. Is especially a symbol of fertility, of the vitality of life and all growing things. A goddess familiar with both life and death, she teaches that wherever we are on earth, or in the world, or in the depths of the underworld, we too can be shining the light. And it's funny, you may want to go back and look at pile 2, because pile 2 was about, if I'm correct, or was it pile 1? Hang on, let me look back at the cards here and see. Yeah, it was pile 2, the goddess of the shadows. What you perceive to be your dark side holds a hidden treasure. So you may want to go back and look at that reading as well, okay? Because that may help you somehow here in pile 3. So that is it, pile 3. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate you spending it with me. Bye-bye.